There comes a time in a person's life when the air shifts, when the weight of waiting becomes too heavy to carry any longer. You have prayed, you have cried, you have sought answers in the quiet, in the noise, in the rise and fall of your own heartbeat. And yet nothing, just silence, just days rolling into nights with no sign, no whisper, no door swinging open. But then there is a moment, a divine moment where everything shifts, where the heavens lean in and God himself moves to unveil what has been hidden. Some dates are ordinary, passing through the calendar like a gentle breeze, but there are others marked in the divine record of time, moments chosen before you ever took your first breath. And one such day is upon us, March 31st. It is not just another day, not just the close of a month or the changing of a season. It is an appointed time, a moment where what was once concealed shall be revealed. You may have questioned whether your steps have been misaligned, whether you have been wandering aimlessly, but there is a plan that has been unfolding even in your ignorance. And this is the day when clarity is about to meet you face to face. It does not matter how long you have waited. It does not matter how many times you have wondered if you were forgotten. The hand of God is not slow. His voice is not silent. His plan is not absent. But sometimes he allows you to sit in the unknown because the timing of revelation is just as important as the revelation itself. If you were to know too soon, would you be ready? If he had spoken in the past, would your heart have been positioned to receive? This is why divine revelation is never random. It is precise, it is measured, and it is orchestrated down to the very second. There are those who have felt the stirring in their spirit without knowing why, waking up in the middle of the night with a weight on their chest, unable to shake the sense that something is shifting in the unseen. Others have found themselves losing interest in things they once pursued. Their heart no longer chases after what it used to. Their focus is shifting. Their desires are changing. And then there are those who have been sensing doors closing, friendships dissolving, opportunities slipping through their fingers. It may have felt like loss, but in reality, it was alignment. Because before God reveals the new, he removes what no longer serves the journey ahead. March 31st is not the end of a thing. It is the beginning of something new. Some will receive a vision so clear it will feel as if it was written across the sky. Others will find themselves in conversations that confirm everything they have been wrestling with. And for some, it will come in the form of divine discomfort and unsettling that forces them to move in the direction they have been afraid to step toward. The ways of God are mysterious, but his purpose is sure. The revelation may not come how you expected, but it will come exactly as you need. This is not the time to be passive. It is not the time to sit idly by, waiting for something to simply fall into your lap. When the heavens open, when revelation is on the horizon, preparation is required. Have you positioned yourself to hear? Have you made room for what God is about to release? A moment of divine unveiling can be missed if the heart is too distracted to recognize it. The enemy thrives in distraction because he knows that revelation is the most dangerous weapon in the hands of a believer. When you see clearly, you move differently. When you know without a shadow of a doubt, fear loses its grip. Everything you have been through has not been in vain. The waiting, the heartbreak, the doors that refuse to open, it has all been leading to this. Because when God reveals his plan, he also releases the grace to walk in it. And some have been feeling weary, feeling like they do not have the strength to go any further. But strength is coming, direction is coming. A fresh wind is about to hit your spirit in a way you cannot explain. The enemy would love for you to ignore the weight of this moment. He would love for you to treat this day as insignificant, to assume that nothing different will happen. But you must discern the times. You must recognize that this is not an ordinary moment. It is a divine invitation, an invitation to lean in, an invitation to posture yourself in expectation, an invitation to surrender your doubt and let faith take over. Because when the heavens speak, when God moves to reveal his plan, everything that once felt uncertain suddenly makes sense. And in that moment, you will know you were never waiting in vain. There are moments in life when the weight of uncertainty feels unbearable, when you stand at the threshold of something new but cannot yet see what lies ahead. You have prayed for clarity, begged for answers, and waited in expectation, yet the silence has stretched longer than you ever anticipated. It is in these moments that faith is truly tested, when you are forced to trust without seeing, believe without evidence, and move forward without a clear destination. But faith is never wasted. Every season of waiting has a purpose. Every unanswered question is leading somewhere. And there comes a moment when the silence is broken, when the answers are unveiled, and when the plan that was once hidden is finally revealed. March ST is not just another date on the calendar. It is a divine appointment. There are times when God moves suddenly, when he speaks so clearly that it shakes you to your core, when he opens doors that no man can shut and shuts doors that no man can open. There is something significant about this moment, something that has been building in the unseen. Perhaps you have felt the shifting in your spirit, but could not quite put it into words. Perhaps you have sensed that change is near, but have not been able to pinpoint what exactly is coming. That is because revelation comes in layers. God does not always reveal everything at once, but he gives glimpses, small whispers that prepare the heart for what is about to unfold. You may have noticed things shifting around you, people distancing themselves, relationships being redefined, and opportunities that once seemed promising suddenly fading. It may have felt like rejection, like loss, like something being taken away from you. But what if it was really God making space? Before revelation comes, there is always a removal. The wrong voices must be silenced, the wrong influences must be cut away, and the wrong environments must be left behind. If you are still holding on to things that God has already released you from, you may struggle to receive what he is about to give. Letting go is painful, but it is necessary. There are some doors that will only open when your hands are empty. There is something about divine timing that cannot be rushed or delayed. You may have thought you were ready in seasons past, but readiness is not about desire. It is about alignment. You can want something deeply and still not be in position to receive it. God's plan is too great to be placed in hands that are not prepared to carry it. That is why certain prayers seemed to go unanswered, why certain dreams felt just out of reach. It was not denial, it was preparation. There are things you had to grow through, wounds you had to heal from, and perspectives you had to shift before you could step into what has always been yours. You have been walking through a season where God has been stripping away everything that does not align with his purpose for your life. It has felt like breaking, like being stretched beyond your limits, like wandering through unfamiliar territory without a clear path forward. But what you thought was breaking was actually building. What you thought was a delay was actually divine positioning. Sometimes God must isolate you before he elevates you. He must remove the noise before he releases the instructions. He must strip away what is familiar before he introduces the new. Revelation does not come to those who are passive. It does not come to those who wait idly, hoping for something to change without being willing to shift themselves. There is a posture required for divine insight, a heart that is open, a spirit that is expectant, a mind that is willing to unlearn and relearn. Many have missed what God was trying to show them because they were too distracted, too consumed by what was temporary to recognize what was eternal. If you are looking for clarity, you must be willing to seek it. If you are expecting direction, you must be willing to move when it comes. For some, March 31st will be the moment when what has been blurry suddenly becomes clear. The patterns that once felt random will begin to make sense. The closed doors, the sudden endings, the unexpected redirections, it will all start to align. There will be moments of confirmation, divine encounters that leave no room for doubt. You will see how everything has been working together, how every setback was really a setup, how every unanswered prayer was leading you towards something greater. There are no coincidences in the kingdom. There is no wasted pain, no meaningless detours. It has all been a part of the process. For others, this will be a moment of awakening. There are dreams that have been lying dormant, visions that have been buried beneath fear, and callings that have been ignored out of uncertainty. This is the season where God is reigniting the fire, where he is stirring the gifts within you, where he is calling you out of complacency and into purpose. You have been waiting for a sign, for a clear indication that it is time to move, and that sign is here. The waiting is over. The hesitation must end. When God reveals his plan, obedience is required. You cannot step into the next without leaving behind what no longer belongs to you. There is a reason you have been feeling the urgency, the restlessness, the deep knowing that something is about to shift. The spirit is always aware before the mind catches up. Pay attention to the small signs, the unshakable feelings, the doors that are quietly opening. Do not dismiss what seems insignificant, because what appears small now will soon be revealed as something greater than you imagine. Some will receive revelation in an instant, a word so clear it cannot be ignored. Others will see it unfold gradually, like a puzzle slowly coming together. But however it comes, it will come. And when it does, you must be ready. You must be willing to let go of what is comfortable and step into what is unknown. Fear cannot hold you back any longer. Doubt cannot delay you anymore. You have been prepared for this moment, shaped by the very hand of God for the assignment ahead. Do not allow distractions to rob you of what is coming. Do not let fear talk you out of what has already been ordained. You have been called for such a time as this. You have been positioned for something greater than you can comprehend. This is not just another season. It is a divine turning point, a moment that has been set apart from the foundation of time, a day when what was hidden shall be revealed, when what was delayed shall be released, when what was once unclear shall be made known. Everything in your life has been leading to this. Every prayer, every battle, every tear, it has all been preparing you for what is about to unfold. The only question that remains is whether you are ready to receive it, because when revelation comes, when the plan is revealed, there will be no going back. The season of waiting will be over and the time for action will begin. The next move is yours. There are moments in time when the weight of destiny meets the urgency of the present, when the waiting has matured into readiness and the unseen becomes visible. You have been feeling this shift, sensing this stirring, knowing deep within you that something is about to happen, but not having the full picture. That is how God moves. He gives just enough to awaken your spirit, but keeps enough hidden to require your faith. And now the time has come. The moment is near. March 31st is not just another date. It is an invitation, a calling, a divine appointment where the veil is being lifted and his plan is being revealed. You have been through a season of refining, a season where doors have shut without warning and people have left without explanation. The weight of uncertainty has pressed on your chest, making you question if you are still on the right path. You have wondered why everything feels so unsettled, why nothing has seemed to fall into place the way you expected. But you must understand that revelation requires preparation. Before God unveils his plan, he ensures that your heart is in position to receive it. That is why the last season felt like breaking it was really making. It was shaping you, molding you, stripping away everything that would have interfered with what is coming next. The silence was not rejection, it was alignment. You have not been forgotten. The time of divine unveiling is here. It has been a long journey filled with moments that tested your endurance, moments that made you question if you had misheard God, moments that almost convinced you to give up. But now you stand on the edge of revelation. Everything is about to shift. Everything is about to make sense. What you once struggled to understand is about to be explained. The nights of crying out, the days of confusion, the seasons where nothing seemed to move, they were all leading to this moment. You cannot afford to be distracted. When revelation is near, the enemy intensifies his attacks. He will try to cloud your vision, distort your perspective, and flood your mind with doubt. He will make you question whether you are truly hearing from God or if you are simply imagining things. But you must hold firm. You must remain steadfast, because in just a little while, what was hidden will be uncovered. The answers you have been seeking are about to be released. The purpose you have been wrestling with is about to become clear. You will look back at everything that happened before this moment and finally understand why it had to be that way. Do not despise the process. Do not resent the waiting. Do not wish away the journey, because without it, you would not be prepared for what is coming. This next season is going to require a version of you that has been refined, strengthened, and stripped of fear. There are places you are about to walk into that will demand a faith so strong that doubt cannot shake it. There are doors that are about to open that will require a confidence so unshakable that no opposition can close them. What God is revealing is not just an answer to your prayers, it is an assignment. And for some, it is going to require immediate You will not have the luxury of hesitation. When the plan is revealed, movement will be required. There will be no room for second guessing, no space for fear to creep in. The steps will be clear, but the journey will still require faith. Just because God reveals his plan does not mean he shows you every single detail. He gives you what you need to take the next step, but the full picture is something you must walk into. That is why preparation is key. Because when the moment comes, when the door swings open, when the instruction is given, you must be ready to go without looking back. This is why he has been speaking to your heart in ways you cannot explain. This is why your desires have been shifting, why your prayers have been changing, why what once satisfied you no longer does. It is because you are being repositioned. Your spirit has already recognized what your mind has yet to comprehend. That is why you have been feeling the pull, the urgency, the sense that something significant is near, because it is. There's a reason you have not been able to settle into things that once seemed comfortable. There is a reason you have outgrown spaces that once felt right. It is because the plan that is about to be revealed is greater than what you were preparing for. Some of you thought you were being prepared for one thing, but God is about to show you something entirely different. You thought the journey was leading one way, but he is about to shift you in a direction you never expected. And when it happens, you must trust. You must believe that his way is higher, that his plan is perfect, that his timing is intentional. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the moment to doubt what you already know to be true. When revelation comes, it is your responsibility to respond. Some will try to ignore it because it does not align with their expectations. Others will resist it because it will require a level of obedience they are not yet willing to give. But do not let fear rob you of what is coming. Do not let hesitation cause you to miss what has been prepared for you. Because when God speaks, when he moves, when he unveils what has been hidden, it is always for your good. You have waited long enough. You have endured long enough. The time has come. The shift is here. The doors are opening. The instructions are being released. The clarity is coming. And for those who are ready, those who have positioned their hearts to receive, those who have prepared themselves to move when the moment comes, everything is about to change. The weight of waiting is about to be replaced with the certainty of revelation. The questions that once consumed you are about to be answered in ways that will leave you speechless. This is why you cannot afford to be distracted. This is why you must be intentional about where you place your focus in these final moments before the unveiling. Because when the time comes, there will be no room for excuses. The doors will not wait for hesitation. The opportunities will not linger for doubt. You must be ready to step in, to take hold, to walk boldly into what has been prepared for you. There is a reason this moment has been pressing on your heart. There is a reason you cannot shake the sense that something significant is near. Your spirit already knows what your mind is just beginning to realize. The plan is about to be revealed. The assignment is about to be given. The season of wondering is coming to an end,